guys, Veteran Trainer Jon here, back again with week 3 of the PBL against my friend Kryptic Flash. His channel will be linked down below. You should definitely go check out his side of the battle. Things are still kind of crazy for me right now, so these probably are going to be about the only uploads I can get up for the time being. Schedule's just so crazy. So let's get right into this. Sorry, I hit the mic probably. So checking out his team, you know, I was kind of worried, So he leads with Delmise. Now this is an interesting lead here. I'm not sure what his thought process was, but I go ahead and lead with Tornadus. I figured it was the most well-rounded Pokemon I had to deal with most of his. And he goes right into Grumpy Lumps, the Hippowdon. He gets up Sand. Sand really doesn't benefit his team that much. It does play a slightly larger part later on in the battle, but for right now, it's not too big of a deal. I see that I can two-shot this thing with, or it's a roll to two-shot with Hurricane. So I'm not scared of this thing. He's scared of me. So he swaps right on out. He goes into Lily, the Nihilego. Now this thing is the only Pokemon he has that really benefits from the Sandstorm. And actually it's a pretty huge benefit. A crit did less than 25%. I have to get out of here. I'm imagining this thing is scarfed, and it's gonna hurt. So he actually swaps too. So that swap showed me that he was scarfed, and I'm like, okay, that's a problem. That is a problem. I go right into Rotom. I'm imagining this thing is gonna be offensive, like Dragon Dance is what I'm thinking. So I'm gonna try to get him with a Will-O-Wisp. So he swaps right out and goes into Delmise, and I'm like, crap. I really wish I would have went for the Toxic, because that would have been really great. That would have been so good, but it's not a big deal. This thing can hit decently hard, even though I'm assuming this one is more bulky than anything. I know for a fact that I'm going to outspeed this thing, so I'm just going to want to get on out of here. Keep Rotom healthy. He can be good this battle. He does have status, and he can hit decently hard too. So Volt Switch right on out. Delmise cannot touch my Celesteela. I know that. I know he can't. So I'm just going to go into it. And this is where he really starts making some questionable plays here. I can set up with the Celesteela if I really wanted to right here. And it's not very good for him if I do that. So he actually swamps right into Salamence, which I thought was sort of like, okay, well, if it's, you know, offensive, like physical, I can handle it with my natural bulk. Air Slash does pretty good damage, and then he goes for Fire Blast. It's like, oh shit, but he misses. That was a huge thing that really helped me like clutch this win. He missed with that Fire Blast. That was a very important miss for my opponent. That really lets me start running through his team pretty quickly. And at this point, I don't have, you know, any kind of speed or anything set up. So that would have been really bad for me. I could have, see, if I would have went for Atomize right there on the switch, I would have been in a bad spot because I could not have one-shot him with the Z Air Slash. He goes right into this thing. I'm like, okay, I'm a Flash Cannon here. And he withdraws, actually, which I'm like, later on, I'm like, why did you do that? Why did you swap into this? Because I can just crush this thing, and I could use it to set up on you. He didn't really have a good answer. So maybe you'll check out his side of the video, and he'll kind of go over that more. But I didn't really understand what he was doing here. Like, even here, it doesn't really make much sense to me. He goes for Giga Drain, which does mediocre damage to me at best. And now I'm at +2 speed. I think even at this point I could outspeed Scarf Nihilego. So I'm not worried at this point at all. At all. He goes into Neptune, which is not going to want to take this Flash Cannon. See, this is another questionable play. Why would you come into this? I'm not going to keep setting up on you. I'm just going to go for the KO. And I guess he didn't think I had Flash Cannon even though I just went for it. Or maybe he thought I was going to go for the Air Slash. Which even if I did, I still would have outsped. And now this is what he should have went into if he was not going to try to KO me with the Nihilego. This thing. So this thing can tank. I have nothing to hit him for super effective damage with. I've pretty much revealed my whole hand except for Giga Drain. So I'm like, okay, well, Flash Cannon is my best bet. This thing doesn't have the best special defense, and I do get a special defense drop, which is really good, so that means I could definitely take it out in 2 more attacks. He gets off the T-Wave. I'm like, okay, makes sense why you came into this. I don't know why you didn't do it sooner before I had my Beast Boots up. So, you know, he's learning, and he swaps it out. Again, I don't know. And then he sacks this off. So I get another boost. So something is going to get really hurt if I survive an attack from it. Like, Celesteela has already put in so much work this battle, and then he goes into this. I'm like, why? I don't understand. I not like really affected. Nihilego gets boosted a little bit, but if I survive an attack, I'm taking out Nihilego no matter what. I am I believe I'm +4 now. So questionable plays for sure. I was like, at this point I was like, okay, I might get the Celesteela sweep for the 2nd week in a row. He goes into Juggernaut, which I'm like, okay, he's no longer getting the special defense boost from the Sandstorm, by the way, and I'm two-shotting it, and so I'm like, okay, he has Thunder Punch. I'm like, why didn't you just do that? He sees how much damage this does. If he would have actually done that, like as soon as I started with Celesteela, he could have ended the potential sweep forever ago. So I'm like kind of telling him these things after the battle. I'm like, you should have stayed in, like went right into Juggernaut, and then started hammering me for damage, and then I don't know. He would have two-shot me with Thunder Punch. But I guess he didn't know how defensive I was. I didn't have any defense investment, I'm pretty sure. This is my sweeping Celesteela. And he's going to take me out with Thunderbolt. Not a huge deal at this point. I'm like, okay, I know I have Pokemon faster than this. And he's locked into Thunderbolt. So Coco can handle this, actually. I'm pretty confident I can survive a Thunderbolt from this thing, even at +1. It is resisted, even in the terrain, and it's not stab, and I outspeed. And actually looking at that damage, if the Sandstorm would have lasted 1 more turn, he might have been able to survive another one. Which is kind of scary to think about, that if he had played his cards just a little bit better, I could have been in a lot of trouble, actually. But I did get the win. I think he played well at the beginning, and then sort of towards the middle he lost his nerve against Celesteela, and then at the end he started coming together for him. So definitely go show him some support on his channel down below. It was a great game. If he wouldn't have got that Fire Blast miss, it would have actually been much, much closer and a much more frightening battle. So thank you guys for sticking around till the end if you did. I appreciate it. Have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.